Slovenian Open in Podcetrtek, presented by the IBPF and Predator Group. Our next match for today is a loser round 5 match between two great players. Alex Montpellier from France is up against Yuri PISKLOV from Germany. Two very seasoned players, so I'm expecting a great match. The winner of this match needs one more win after this to get a place in the last 32 single elimination stage. My name is Tim de Ruyter and I will be accompanied by my good friend and colleague Arya Sorabi.
Hi Tim, hi everyone, back watching. We've just finished the previous match between an all-Austrian affair. We get to see two fresh new players. What can you tell about these players, Tim?
Well, definitely Alex Montpellier, one of France's best players, has been traveling a lot as well in the recent years. He's been traveling all over the world to play American pool but also hayball events and having some great results. Got to the final of the hayball event in Australia, losing to Justin Sajic, but he beat, for example, Alex Pegulain doing so. So definitely a great player. And on the other side, Yuri PISKLOV, first Bundesliga player, the highest league in Germany. I do recall to remember he's got to a quarterfinal or a semi-final in the EuroTour before, so definitely has a high gear and always a worthy opponent. So I'm expecting this to be a good match. Just wondering if the break could be a big factor between the two of them. Let's see, he has made a ball on the break. It's a race to 8 and we are breaking per 2 racks, so each player gets 2 breaks in a row.
Yeah, he would have loved to have landed on the 15 there, round 15, but that's unfortunately not the case. So he still needs to maneuver his cue ball to land on the 15. As you can clearly see, that's the one, the main ball that is congested around the 8 and the 2 and the 3. Sorry, the 3 and the 6.
Yeah, will be interesting to see. I think this is a nicer pattern though. 10, the 11. If he can get near the 11, would give him nice shape on the 15. Or maybe only to get from the 12 to the 8 afterwards, but could potentially opt for the 8 in the right center pocket if he doesn't like to travel back to the right side of the 8.
Yeah, so it's vitally important that he at least leaves himself a shot at the 15. Basically, where the 11 is, if you would draw a line from the 11 at the height of the table towards the side rail, anywhere in that line, it should be fine. Yeah, just enough off the rail to be able to inject some sort of spin if needed on a cue ball. Well, you could clearly see where his next plan would be. It's on and off the rail towards center line of the table. Well, for me it would be an easy option here. Just follow it through for the 8 in the opposite center pocket.
Yeah, he did land too straight to... Well, he can still stun the cue ball over. I was gonna say it's still possible, but I did like your choice there. It's easy with that stun to lose the cue ball a bit, but he's nicely on the 8. Maybe some early nerves. As you can see, it is very hot, very humid conditions in Slovenia, so As you could see, it's a little bit sticky. The rails might be bouncier a little bit more, but that, yeah, not much you can do about that. It's not really the table's fault, but just the weather conditions. They influence the conditions that much. So he went to dry his hands, but still managed to make the 8. So opening breaker run for the German.
I was in the presumption that the the room they are playing in is it's equipped with air conditioning, but maybe that's not the case, is it?
Well, it is a very big venue, and it's not always easy, especially with the temperature going up to 35, 36 degrees. It's not easy to keep such a big venue cool all the time. And also, well, I mean, every country is just different. We might have a luxury position in the Netherlands, but in Slovenia they might not be using the air conditioning as much as we would be expecting. So, I mean, we are obviously doing remote commentary, so we're doing it from home. So I can only explain my experiences from last year in the venue. Maybe he just had sweaty hands and it's not humid, but I think the table is playing a little bit bouncier. But definitely a great break. Again, 2 breaks in a row. Making a ball on the break, nice cue ball control.
Yeah, that's all you want for, right? When you start a match, start off with no mistakes, nice cue ball control. By the looks of it, he likes to keep himself fit. It's always a positive sign for me, as if you're a professional athlete, regardless of how physical your sport might be or might not be. But you know, when you see someone that is trying to keep themselves fit, like the best players we have currently in the world, the likes of Niels Vij, Joshua Filler, Albin, all of them, they like to keep themselves fit. Fedor Gorst, and yeah, that's on that. Really.
Yeah, I think pool really has changed in the last, what is it, maybe 8 years, 9 years. I think it really has become a trend to take care of yourself a little bit more, be more in shape, watch the food, watch the sleep. Like, all these details I think matters now a little bit more than back in the day.
Yeah, fair point, Tim. And this is something you see across all sports, really. Like, you know, the all-round average level of play in any sports has vastly grown. Like back in the day, in different sport categories, you'd have a specialist, and still to this day you might find a specialist, but you can't really make a legendary career by being only good in one particular skill set. You have to, you know, notch up the other parts as well, so that at least in worst scenario you don't have an obvious weakness. And it's all fine if you have extra ammunition, but the one thing you cannot afford in this day and age is to have a obvious, blatant weakness, you know?
Yeah, completely agree there. Very good point indeed. And now, oh, look at this, he's making quick work of this. Cue ball on a string. It's looking to be a good start. I know for a fact we had Albin Ushan on the TV table just before this match. He beat Mika van Berkel yesterday 8-6. And then Mika met up with Yuri PISKLOV, the German here, this morning. And PISKLOV won that match 8-3. So that's quite a convincing win. Must feel good today. And he's definitely looking to show us another one of those great performances.
Yeah, so far so good. Would have liked to be a bit better on the 8, but surely this should not really cause any sort of trouble for him. Wiped his
Ooh.
feet.
So
Yeah,
now
so we
2 breaks for Montpellier coming up.
Yeah, this is a guy I had the privilege to play with in a team league. You know, one of the nicest guys you will ever wish to meet. And aside from that, you know, he's a fabulous pool player, as you've alluded to at the top of the show. He's been one of the key players from France for, well, I would say definitely over a decade by now, and owns a fabulous pool hall in Paris as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he will kickstart his match, because you know, after the lag, he hasn't had a visit at the table. This is his actual first visit to the table, and let's see if he can produce a successful break to start off his campaign in this match, I should say.
Yeah, lost the cue ball a little bit. Needs the 11 ball to drop or the 3 ball. Look at this.
I was convinced that the 11 would have dropped. That is really unfortunate for him.
Now, if you look at the spread, this rack is far from over. Still needs to do a lot. If you look at the 8 ball, I would assume, just based on all the stripes around the 8, I would go for stripes. I don't think the solids are so nice to possibly open up the 8. So I think he's going to try and play himself onto the 9. Well, first, if he gets the angle on the 9, possibly could open up the balls, spread the balls out just a little bit. Doesn't have to force a lot. Maybe it looks like he's going to run into the 14, into the 10 if he plays with the draw. I think I might like to play just top spin, stun top, follow the 14. No,
So the
played a
15 must,
deliberate shot.
yeah, the 15 must pot in the right center pocket. This is also the shot he looked at previously. Maybe even the top right corner pocket. No, so he's going for the middle here, using the 8.
Oh, and look. Yeah, I was just going to say, look at how nicely he's going to push the 8 over to where he doesn't have to play any tricky position again to the 10. And from there, I also know he's quite a strong rotation player, so especially in these open positions, he doesn't make too many mistakes in general. Now, I don't want to jinx him, so hopefully he still gets the job done, but it's based on my experience.
Yeah, I must admit, Tim, this is the first time I've seen him in live play, and I liked what I'm seeing, and particularly not just, you know, his potting skills and his cue ball control, but also the pace he plays it at. And funny enough, well, we've still yet to see Alex Montpellier to run a rack, but he is more or less the same pace. So if both players get their teeth in, this would be a very entertaining match. But so far, Yuri PISKLOV is looking faultless, really.
Yeah, excellent performance so far from the German, who's looking at a 3-0 lead. And all tough times for Alex, who has the break, one more break coming. But the best thing he could do from this position is to pull one back and get it 3-1, but that is for sure not going to satisfy him.
As you can see at the bottom of your screens, it's losers round 5, which means whoever gets or loses this match gets eliminated from the field. However, the winner will go for the losers qualification round, so they still have one more match after this left to book their place in the last 32, all to play for. and Alex here desperately wants to get on the board and get involved, as it's the saying, it's a cliche but it's very true. You don't settle until you have your name on the board. Let's see if he can create a successful break here. Got close previously.
Oh, quite some cut. Does make the 3-ball though, so he does stay at the table, but not the best break from him. And it will be interesting to see. Does have a shot on the 7, but the 1-ball is not that great. Sure, he can make the 7 and later on try to still get on the 1-ball, but that means traveling, more cue ball movement, and thus more risk.
Yeah, and also it needs pinpoint precise position on the 1-ball here. So, I mean, if you're looking to drop on the 1, you'd be aiming to get your cue ball toward the second diamond, the middle diamond at the left rail, long rail, bottom long rail. But you know, to get there, like you said earlier, probably the 6 would be the most beneficial shot to use to get there. But again, it needs to be very precise. No, is he trying to screw
He might play
across?
safe.
He has,
Yeah,
you know.
I think he was playing safe, yeah. Just because he knew he's still cold. Basically, he got to break the balls now twice. And besides that, he's had a lot of chair time. So I kind of do like the shot here. We don't see this very often. The safety on the open rack. Now, an interesting move for Alex very soon is to roll up on the 1-ball if he can still do that. Like just float a little bit forward, freeze on the 1. That would mean the 1-ball is then open and you don't leave a shot. And then you have to come up with a big shot.
Yeah, great call there, Tim. But the only thing is, if he does not nail the shot and leaves a pot on the 13, he might have put himself in a world of trouble. And I think that's the only reason he's not gone for that. He's been a bit fortunate actually, because he's left several long pots, but in doing so he has occupied the 5 there. Ironically, both of the orange balls, the stripe and the solid, they are covering one another.
Well, I was wondering, is there a cut on the 10 or maybe a bank on the 10? The stripes are not too horrible after. Yeah, nice shot. Has a shape on the 11. I think if he solves the 13, well, I'm mistaken there. The 1-ball is now also blocking the 14 to the bottom left. So the 14 is not that much available, so first has to get to the 13 and then has to make sure something happens with the 14.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to take a risk, he could possibly run into it now. Well, I can only presume that's definitely something he was planning to do, judging by the pace, because if he was trying to play position, there's no way he should have needed that much pace into this cue ball. But he's still at the table. It's not like it's looking hopeless. Once again, it's the green stripe, which is, I believe, the 14 ball, that is going to be the key ball here in this visit. That's nicely controlled. But he's also running out of time to do something with the 14, so realistically, after the shot, he needs a nice angle. Otherwise, it could be end of visit. he's definitely got nice enough angle to either play position or to develop the 14. What would be your choice, Tim?
I do like to run one reel and bump the 14. I think that you would say could barely go wrong. If you try to hold the cue ball in that little spot, especially with a little bit of a bouncier rail, I think it could really catch you wrong. See, he even overcut the 14, and I think he might still be on it to the top right. It's tricky though, cueing over the 1. The 6 might have landed a little bit in front of it, so it's not ideal. No, he's called a bank. He must not be on the 14, so he's made a mistake. First mistake of the match for PISKLOV, and I'm just wondering, the bank might not be on. Like, it's... I do believe the 5 ball plays a huge role in this shot. Yeah, definitely a good try, but this is one of those opportunities for Alex where he can get the stroke out a little bit, get some feeling for the table. And that might be just the thing that he needs at this point. So 1-4, 2-6-8. Could also play 4-6-2-8. I mean, there's always different routes, but I'm a big fan of a bunch of stop shots or tap-ins.
Well, a huge sigh of relief here for Alex. For a second there, it looked like he was in a world of trouble. Now he'll get a great opportunity to put his first rack on the board. Interesting, he's got his necklace out. What are your thoughts on that, Tim, if I can ask you about this subject?
On what exactly?
He's got his necklace out, and it's basically dangling over his over his neck. It's, I mean, doesn't that distract you a little bit? Maybe even flirt with a unintentional fall?
If you do it always, I'm guessing you're used to it. Like, if you, let's say you practice 20 hours a week with that necklace being there, I have the same thing with not wearing my watch lately. Whenever you play, you always feel that the watch like around your wrist, you know, like on your bridge hand. But now when you take it off and you start to play, it kind of feels empty. Maybe it's that kind of thing. But yeah, sure, I mean, it can be risky, and ooh, not the best break, almost scratched, but he's made 2 balls on the break.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? I mean, sometimes we talk about the perfect break, and this was far from it, you know, technically. But then you look at him, you know, he's at the table, and he's got a, I wouldn't say a clear-cut chance, but a good enough chance to, you know, extend his lead. And it's all about really, you know, carrying on, putting a ball, and leave yourself options. And sometimes you can hit it perfectly flush, and then they don't go in. And if you cannot switch it up from that point, that could be your worst enemy, right? You're playing with this idea of, I need to hit it this way, rather than maybe change it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, I would always advise people to break the balls or play the way you play, like in practice, you know, you bring a couple options and you try those, but you don't start to try new things. In general, the new things, they don't work.
Yeah, I agree. In one of the best lines I read about a famous sport coach, and the quote goes as, we never rise to the occasion under pressure. We fall to our highest form of preparation." And that is very true.
Yeah, I like that. And I do like the pattern he's playing. Straight to the 14 because he knew there was no ball near the left area of the 14 to get this shape. But he has the 10 ball to connect with the 15.
Stopped just in time. If he would have ran a little bit further, he would have been in trouble with the 7 there. Nothing to do with his cue ball. He's absolutely straight on this 10. Just a stop shot would be ideal, because then he leaves himself the slightest of angles, just like this. Draw his cue ball back for the 8 in the same pocket. It's looking bright for Yuri, has to be said. Hasn't missed the ball yet, has he? Just ran out of position once.
Yeah, so far one mistake from PISKLOV in this match. But another break run on the board. And, well, like I've said, every time PISKLOV makes a breaker run or 2 breaker runs, it is going to say at least 5 minutes, 6 minutes for Alex in the chair. And then if he has maybe 1 or 2 dry breaks, you could be looking at 10 minutes in the chair. And that's a little difference in this break per 2 format, which I don't mind, because it kind of gets the player cold and hot with the momentum.
Yeah, Tim, very good point. It's a very crucial terminology actually in sports, right? Momentum. It's a real thing. It's something palpable. You can just sense it. You can feel it. You can, if you're watching it live, you can tell. All of a sudden, all of the right things happen at the right time. So yeah, momentum is something we all are chasing when you're competing out there. And what a beautiful spread he's had there after another successful break.
Yeah, tap on the leg from Alex, acknowledging the fact that Yuri, I mean, every time he's breaking the balls, he's getting the cue ball past the side. So, well, the last break not, but overall in the match he's been having good cue ball control. Look at his spread, stop shot on the 1, has the 5 ball after to come back down table. Would like to maybe get on the 2 ball, so if he can replace the cue ball with the 5 ball and take the 2, 6, 7, 4, everything is in the open.
I was just paying attention to his mechanics there, Tim. He's got a very nice and like a gentle grip on his cue. It's very loose. If you look at his wrist there, maybe from this angle it's a bit harder to tell, but he's got a, you know, the cue is like, how do I say this? It's just like it's sitting on the bed of his fingers. He's not really pinching his cue. This is why he's also so fluid.
Well, I would say he's a multiple medalist in the German championships. Like I mentioned also in the EuroTour, I do believe it was really a semi-final, but could be. Yeah, I think it was a semi-final against Felix Vogel in Estonia. Just saying, he knows his way around.
Yeah, the level of competition in Germany is mind-boggling. Really, it's that good. So whenever you are, let's say, in the top 8 there, you can really play. Once again, a perfectly executed break and run extends its lead to 5-1. Alex, a lot to do from this position, Tim.
Well, he can only do so much, of course. He has 2 breaks now, but he definitely needs to start stringing a couple packs. I mean, you know, if you start to play better too, the momentum starts to change to where maybe PISKLOV will make a couple mistakes as well. So it all starts with a good break and then another good break. I mean, that's the thing with this format, you know, like 5-3, basically pray for a mistake, then possibly 5-4, 6-4, maybe 5 each is possible.
Yeah, well, one thing is for sure, he can't afford to let slip of a rack in these 2 visits from his side. I mean, anything other than 3-5 behind is looking pretty hopeless. So already we are looking at very important exchanges in the end phase of the match. Oh, and he's missed that. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And has to be said, Tim, it's a bit careless because that wasn't a difficult shot and he didn't really want to do anything with his cue ball. And since after the break still nothing has been potted, Yuri can play the combination here and stay on the stripes, which is looking exactly like what he is going to do. Yeah, I mentioned it before he took on that difficult, well, semi-difficult shot. He's in the position that he cannot afford another mistake or unforced error, and unfortunately that is exactly what happened. And this match is slipping out of his hands, to say the least.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I really liked the stripes, how everything was laying. He can play 13, leave himself an angle on the 14 to drop to the right side. No, he's playing the 15 up to the 9-10. Ooh. I actually think he played for the 10 ball there. Landed a little bit in between. I was just going to say, it's not like Alex had such a horrible opportunity there, but he was queuing over his first shot.
Oh, you can get to the orange 13, which is a bonus. I didn't think he could get to the potting angle, but that already saves him a lot of misery. And it seems like he's retracted the situation there.
Yeah, I do like to take the 14 out, because the rails, they're a little bit fast at the moment, so I like to let the cue ball go a bit. And anything in the center of the table would have been fine to float the 14 in. 14 also didn't go to the left center, so in this case I think he took the green striped 14 out very nicely. Yeah, we're looking at 6-1. Could have definitely been maybe 4-3, maybe 5-2.
Yeah, and this is the point of the match where, in order for Alex to keep his campaign alive, he needs to rely on mistakes from Yuri, and they've been very few, if anything, so far. He's playing almost a perfect set. He's only had one positional error, if I'm not mistaken, but aside from that, it's been clinical.
Yeah, and especially if you look, I think Alex now finally has found the break. He was breaking a little softer, did make one of the wing balls going into the side pocket. But being down 6-1, you're a little bit overdue. I mean, kind of late to start playing well. But you never know playing 8-ball. We both know so many dry breaks can happen, so many weird layouts can come up. Can we see a comeback for the Frenchman?
No, he will definitely need some help, and this is not helping at all. A ball in hand after break is usually the cardinal sin in professional pool billiards. Let's see which way PISKLOV is going to go about this rack.
Well, I am assuming the stripes. I mean, if you look at the top left corner where the 7-ball is laying and the 2-ball being blocked to the bottom left and the top left, I am not even considering the solids by any means. I might start with the 9-ball. Probably 9, 14, and then from the 15 going down table, he's choosing to go. Well, also I don't mind leaving the 15 and the 14 all the way to the end, going 13, 10, 11, 9, 14, and then from the 15 to the 8.
Yeah, but realistically, he would have liked to be higher on the 10. Now, it's looking like he needs to use the 8 to play position on the 11.
Yeah, unless he floats forward and takes a 15. Like, that's one of the clever plays, I would say. He's left those 2 balls there to where he knew he had a backup plan. Yeah, rail first on the 15. Just gotta make sure he doesn't catch the 14 too full, but I think he should be fine to just slide past it. Yeah, and as you can see, he's got the speed perfect as well on there. He's perfect on the 14.
Yep, it's a very, very convincing display here by Yuri PISKLOV. Look, if he can keep this up, he's going to be a handful for anyone in the draw. Be on the lookout for this man. This is some very impressive stuff indeed, Tim.
Yeah, I have to say I might consider shooting the 11 ball first. With the bouncy rails, the cue ball will get off the rail too fast if you shoot the 9. It will be difficult to hold it. So now he's gonna try and get straighter into the 9. I think he's landed perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's really feeling the pace of the table, which you can play very messy 8-ball if you lose the speed of the table, but it's easy to play 8-ball when you feel the table that much. Excellent display from the German. Got a feel for Montpellier a bit. But he did have, I think, a couple opportunities.
Absolutely, I think it's the couple of dry breaks and just then the scratch on his break. So really, his break has let him down, and yeah, he's missed the boat earlier on. I mean, he already started off going 3-0 behind, pulled one back, but ever since nothing has been really going his way. And on the other side, Yuri has been as convincing as ever, so that's a bad combination. You're not playing well and your opponent is firing.
Yeah, most of the time it goes together. I mean, when someone plays bad, it's quite normal for the other player to play well, to play a good set. I think it's a more difficult quality to play a good or extremely well performance while the other player is playing well. That's the challenge I feel like in pool.
I think in any sport, right? I mean, it's if there was
Yeah.
card being dealt out and you're like, okay, what option do I have? I think anyone would choose to play their A game, but you know, it's the biggest challenge we have as competitors. Can you bring your best game, your practice game, practice level under the bright lights? That's where the difference between champions and good competitors are made.
Now if you look at this layout for Montpellier, it does get to the table on PISKLOV's break. Played a good shot there to open up the 4. Chose to go solids because the 9 and the 12 do not really go to the top right corner, and or is it the 9 and the 11? The 9 and the... no. I can barely see the color behind the 8.
It's the pink, so that should be the 12 ball.
But the pink is on the top left. Well, I'm lost here.
Maybe it's the orange 13. You're right. It's the orange 13.
Yeah, so the 9 and the 13, they don't go to the top right. And the 12, well, now it does go to the top left, but before it did not go to the top left. So that's why he went to go solids. I need to get my eyes checked. How could I not see that color? So now was trying to get a little bit of angle to stun over to play the 3 in the top right. Landed straight, so we'll have to draw straight back. No. Still try to move the cue ball over, but came up short.
And that's, yeah, I mean, this is something you see often in matches when one player has been a little bit outplayed. Also, you know, self-inflicted damage. In this case, the breaking part of the game, right? Does not serve them well, and then, you know, when they end in this position, they're 7-1 behind. Realistically, they know they have less than 1% chance to truly come out on top. They just let their arm go and basically give in, really. Oh, there we go.
And the cue ball. Yeah, I was trying to go directly to the short rail with right spin to come back out to the center.
That's, I'm afraid, probably his last visit in this match, and in this case also his campaign in this tournament. He's already taking his glove off. Yeah, he knows what is about to happen shortly, so I feel bad for my old teammate, because it's absolutely not anywhere near to his potential, his true potential. He's a very fast and fluent player, but unfortunately he came up short. And has to be said, every credit to Yuri, he did his part, you know, kept the pressure on him, rarely made any mistakes, broke well, run well, and then got the rewards.
Yeah, definitely not the Montpellier I know, as you mentioned. But in the end, we had to get one winner. PISKLOV now 6 balls away to get one step closer to the last 32. The winner of this match needs to win one more. Loser qualification will start very shortly. 5:15 local Slovenian time, so that's, well, precisely 19 minutes from now. Ooh. Well, you never know, but I think he does have the prime shape now because he can cheat the pocket a little bit on the 15, get to the center of the table, or straight on the 14. Everything is basically okay on the 14. So Yuri PISKLOV probably back in action within the next 20 minutes.
You might
We
see
will
a
be
head
back
kick.
also.
Is there a foul awarded if he concedes the match from this point? I know in
No,
snooker,
but
in professional snooker,
yeah.
if you do that while the frame is gone, you will get a warning and a fine.
Well, not on the last shot of the match. So Yuri PISKLOV beats Alex Montpellier 8-1 and advances to the loser qualification round, being